it's Jay. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be pointing out some literary references in Taylor Swift songs and then recommending a book that song reminds me of. So the first song is The Best Day off of Fearless.
I hug your legs and fall asleep on the way home. I don't know why all the trees change in the fall. I know you're not scared of anything at all. To know there's no white houses here or far away. And I'll write the best day with you today.
So in The Best Day, she references Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, not for like any connection other than Snow White is a part of like childhood and stuff, or at least the Disney version is. But for that, because she can like kind of communicate with animals, or animals are her friends, I'm including a play by Tennessee Williams, The Glass Menagerie, which has a central motif of a glass collection of glass animals, or a zoo, also known as a menagerie. This is about this gentleman color dude who comes and meets this girl who is disabled, and animals. The next song is White Horse, again off of Fearless.
I honestly believed in you, holding on the days drag on. Still a girl, still know I'm not a princess, this ain't a fairy tale. I'm not the one who's sleep off her feet, lead her up the stairwell. This ain't Hollywood, this is a small town. I was a dreamer before you went and let me down. Now it's too late for you and your white horse to come around.
So for White Horse, when you think of White Horse, the first thing I think of, at least, is like fairy tales and princesses and the symbolism of like purity and like royalty and stuff within the White Horse. And in the music video and the song, of course, it's about like her losing this guy and like realizing that she's better off without him and stuff. And in Break Your Glass Slippers by Amanda Lovelace, it's kind of a similar story. This is a feminist poetry collection, and it kind of also is a retelling of Cinderella. There's a lot of like princess imagery and some white horse stuff and fairy godmother, and it's gorgeous. The next song is also off of Fearless, and that is Love Story.
Little did I know that you were Romeo, you were throwing pebbles in my daddy said stay away from Juliet. And I was crying on the staircase, begging you please don't go. And I said, Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. I'll be waiting, all that's left to do is run. You'll be the prince, then I'll be the princess. It's a love story, baby, just say yes.
So Love Story is a reimagining of Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare, and she changed the ending so that they actually end up together and don't die and stuff. And so I'm recommending a Romeo and Juliet retelling, Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. This is a YA contemporary book where these two, this girl and a boy, they used to be like best friends, and then their parents got into this fight and stuff. And then a few years later, they are going on the same camping trip with some friends, but their friends abandoned them, and so they have to like make it out of the wilderness and stuff, and it was really cute and wholesome. The next song is Long Live off of Speak Now.
All the nothing goes through, how the candlelight shine just for me and you. I'm screaming long live, all the nights you be late. Bring on all the pretenders, I'm not afraid. Long live, all the mountains be blue. I had the time of my life, fighting dragons with you. I was screaming long live, that look on your face, and bring on all the pretenders. One day, we will be remembered.
Okay, so it's not technically like a big obvious literary reference in here, but she does reference a popular creature in fantasy, and that is the dragon, of course. And so I am recommending a book with dragons. That is Fablehaven, Secrets of the Dragon Sanctuary by Brandon Mull. This is the 4th book in the Fablehaven series, so I can't say too much because it's spoilery, but it's about these siblings that discover that their grandparents are the caretakers of a magical animal reserve, and they're kind of thrust into this world and start to learn about it, because in the future they will take over for their grandparents. And this one involves magic and lots of dragons. Most of it takes place in the dragon sanctuary called Worm Roost. The next one is Story of Us, also off of Speak Now.
Oh, a simple complication, miscommunications lead too far. So many things that I wish you knew, so many walls that I can't break through. Now I'm standing alone, you're crying through me, gonna speak again. And I'm dying to know, cause I'm killing you like it's killing me, yeah. I don't know what to say, since I couldn't celebrate when it all broke down. And the story of us looks a lot like a tragedy now. Next chapter.
So again, this doesn't really have like one specific literary reference, it's just like this like story of these two people breaking up and their relationship coming to an end and such. But I had to include it because it literally is like story and next chapter, the end, and it's one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs ever, so I had to. But I am going to recommend Guitar Notes by Mary Amato. This is like an old middle grade young YA contemporary, where these two people, one is in band and one plays guitar, and they share the same practice room but on like opposite days, and they start writing notes to each other, and then they meet up and they start writing songs together. And what I love about this book and the author is that the author has a YouTube channel, and she posts the performances of all the songs that are mentioned being written in the book with her and her friend, and that's like a cool little bonus aspect to the novel, which I love. The next song is Superman off of Speak Now Deluxe Edition.
Hang on every word you say. You'll smile and say, how are you? And I'll say, just fine. Always forget to tell you I love you. I love you. Remember how you watch Superman fly away. You got a busy day today. So I'll be around. How you watch Superman fly away. Come back, I'll be with you someday. I'll be right here on the ground when you come back down.
This song is obviously a reference, like a whole allegory to the comic superhero that is Superman. Yeah. And for that I am referencing the Heroes of Olympus by Rick Jordan, because like a lot of us, I guess a lot of the fans, consider the demigods to be like Superman, Superwoman, all that stuff, and one of the characters, Jason Grace, is a few times described as a blonde Superman, because he has the ability to fly and stuff. And so that's literally my only reason why. The next song is Holy Ground off of Red.
I was reminiscing just the other day, while having coffee, you one word took me away. At the first glance, feeling on New York time, I couldn't fit in my poems like a perfect rhyme. Took off fast, feeling being let go. Hey, skip the conversation, and you already know. I left the note on the door with a joke we made, and that was the first day. And darling, it was good. Never looking down, and right there where we stood was on the ground.
So for Holy Ground, I am basing this recommendation off the lines, you fit in my poems like a perfect rhyme. And so I'm recommending a book that kind of is told in like poetry prose form, instead of like blocks of text. It's like little poetry prose form. Anyway, Some Girls Bind by Rory James has that format, and this is about a either genderqueer or gender fluid, I always forget which, main character who is coming to the realization that they are not cis, and they have a great relationship with their brother, and it's like there's like a whole little bit with like a binder and stuff, but this is an adorable read. I loved it, and I highly recommend it. The next song is from 1989, and that is the bonus song New Romantics.
We're all bored, we're all so tired of everything we wait for. Trains that just aren't coming, we show off our different scarlet letters, chasing mine's better. We're so young, we're on the road to prove it. We play dumb, we know exactly what we're doing. We cry tears, mascara in the bathroom. Honey, life is just a classroom. Cause baby, I can feel the castle. Honey, all the things they do with me. And every day is like a battle. Every night it feels like a dream. We're the new romantics, you belong to me. Our flag is a national anthem, we sing it proudly.
So this song, New Romantics, is just about like having fun with friends and embracing like being single and such. There have been a few theories about the title being New Romantics because there were the Romantic poets, and Taylor of course writes a lot of romantic songs, and so there's that theory, but I'm basing the recommendation off of the different Scarlet Letters Trust Me Mine Are Better line, because obviously Scarlet Letter is allusion to the Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and it's like about a woman did something bad, and she's forced to like, wear that publicly so that people can shame her and stuff. I'm recommending The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed. This is a feminist novel. There's diverse characters, and the basis of this book is that there is this girl who got raped by someone at her school, but nobody believes her because there was a popular jock and all that, and it's set in a pretty conservative area. And then these three girls, who call themselves the Nowhere Girls, plus some other girls, they are basically trying to avenge her and Scarlet Letter because everyone shamed her so much that she had to move, and she was contemplating suicide. So yeah, trigger warnings. The next one is also a bonus song off of 1999 Deluxe Edition, and that is Wonderland.
Flashing lights and we took a wrong turn and we fell down the rabbit hole. You held on tight to me, cause now the fence as it seems, spinning out of control. Didn't they tell us don't question the things? Didn't you flash your green eyes at me? Hadn't you heard what becomes of curious minds? Oh, didn't it all seem new and exciting? I felt your arms twisting around me. I should have slept with one eye open at night. We found Wonderland, you and I got lost in it, and we pretended it could last forever.
So Wonderland, obviously a big extended metaphor in reference to Alice in Wonderland, about a relationship that's just going down the rabbit hole. What kind of accent? Okay. But for this, I am recommending The Book Jumper by Metro Glacier. This wasn't my favorite book ever, but I love the idea, which is basically that some people have the power to jump into books, and they basically are protecting the plot and characters in those books to make sure that nothing goes awry. And it was a really interesting idea. It just wasn't executed that great to me. But it's the same idea of like jumping into an alternate kind of universe, and having to deal with the ridiculous consequences of that. Next song is off of Reputation, and that is This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things.
It was so nice throwing big parties, jumping to the pool from the balcony, everyone swimming in the champagne sea. And there was no rules when you show up here, face be rattling in the chandelier, feeling so gaspy for that whole year. So why'd you have to rain on my parade? I'm shaking my head and walking the gates. This is why we can't have nice things, darling. Because you break them, I have to take them away. This is why we can't have nice things, honey. Did you think I wouldn't hear all they said about me? This is why we can't have nice things.
So, and This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. It's about Kanye West, and about how he's a backstabbing jerk. Anyway, there's a very clear reference to Gatsby from The Great Gatsby in the first verse, and Gatsby being used for parties and trying to get the attention of a girl and all that. And for this, I'm recommending The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I'm recommending this because a lot of the times, as Evelyn Hugo was rising in stardom, she started being used more just for her fame and her money and stuff, and there were a lot of relationship quarrels and stuff, and like her and Gatsby like had this whole going after the girl or wanting the girl but not being able to for various reasons, and it takes place like in the same time period. I think like a lot of it, or at least the beginning of it, of her story takes place in the 20s if I remember correctly, and 30s. I'm probably wrong, but yeah. The next one is off of Lover, and that is The Archer.
Who could say? Cause they see right through me, they see right through me, they see right through. Can you see right through me? They see right through me, they see right through me. I see right through me, I see right through me. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put me together again. Cause all of my enemies started out friends. Help me hold on to you, I've been Archer.
So The Archer, the literary reference is in the bridge, and that is all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put me together again. A reference to Humpty Dumpty and how he fell off the wall and he couldn't be healed and stuff. But I am recommending another Tennessee Williams play, and that is A Streetcar Named Desire. This is about a woman, I think her name was Blanche. It's been a while since I read this. She went to visit her sister and her sister's husband, who is abusive, and they get into a lot of fights and a lot of really nasty adult stuff. Take that as you will. And it's just this constant like cycle of abuse and stuff. And there's like very little, or if anything, that can be done to heal the two girls, and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put those two girls back together again. And the last song is off of her newest album, Folklore, and that is Cardigan.
Yeah, cause I knew you stepping on the last train marked me like a bloodstain. I knew you trying to change the ending, Peter losing Wendy. I knew you leaving like a father, running like water. When you are young, they assume you know nothing. I knew you'd linger like a tattoo kiss. I knew you'd haunt all over my waves. Spend love slow, it ain't on this long, cause I knew everything when I was young.
So Cardigan, and the bridge is a bridge slash third verse, I don't know what to call it. Towards the, like in the second half, she references like Peter losing Wendy, and that is like my favorite theory that I've seen with that is like the girl had to grow up, whereas the boy didn't, because Wendy chose to grow up and not stay young forever like Peter did in Peter Pan. This is a retelling of Peter Pan, and that is Peter and the Starcatchers by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson. This has 4 or 5 books in the series. I can't remember which. The first book was read to me by my teacher in 3rd grade because we had like the group reading thing every day and stuff. And I read the rest of the series in 8th grade, I believe, so it's been a while. But this is basically just a retelling of Peter Pan and how Peter, the boy named Peter, became Peter Pan and the origins of some of the other characters. And it's, what I remember, it's a really good book, and there's illustrations every now and then, which I love. But there's still a lot of creativity in here, and from what I remember, the writing was pretty good. That's the same image I just looked at. I'm trying to find another one. But if you... I forgot that there's a scene where the sail is a big brazier. So that's a thing. But yes, it was a great series. It's middle grade. But it's great. So that's all I got for today. I had a few other like very, very vague literary references. If you have any recommendations for any of the literary references I mentioned in the Taylor Swift songs, please tell me down below in the comments, because I had a hard time figuring out some of these, honestly. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notified whenever I upload. I upload every now and then, usually weekly, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.